And this is the all-new MG5 in China. So this is a very new product from the 2022. Yeah, so this is the newest MG basically in the lineup. So look at the front grille. This is going to be similar to all the new MGs in the future. So the grille does have a thin sort of profile on the top and large profile underneath. So point left and right with the new tail headlights, everything, with some sort of plastic cover on the side. But in case it may add the fog lights in some different markets or in some different sort of trim maybe, but at the front looks like, yeah, so the front bumper looks slim, short and all that things, so it's very cool, very aggressive for sure. And on the side, we have a 16-inch profile wheels, obviously two-tone finish alloys. Obviously, this is more like a base model, I think. Starting price on this vehicle is just under 60,000 Chinese yuan. So that's what, about maybe 14, 15 New Zealand dollars, 1,000 New Zealand dollars. Obviously, I'll leave the thing down below so you know what it looks like. And being a base model, you still have fancy leather seats, obviously plastic, no, vegan leather, whatever you want to call it. You do get a lot of contrast on the color and all that things, but the biggest change is the manual transmission. So that's not available in New Zealand, Australian market. I don't think in any day it will be available anyway, but in Chinese market, people are still buying the manuals, as a lot of sort of old generation drivers, they used to only drive manual back in these days. So that's why they only use the manual transmission. So a lot of base model cars are still offered in manual, even on the ZS range, even on the MG5, MG6, everything. And you do see a lot of taxis on the road. If they're not the new generation, new sort of per generation cars, if they're not new energy, which is not EV or plug-in hybrid, a lot of them are still manual, just to save petrol, I suppose. And yeah, like the UK market, I think that's what people say. And in the center console, it is slim sort of design in terms of its sort of trim or screen, everything. This looks quite interesting too, so that's a little bit different. Some piano buttons, everything, air vents underneath, and USB charging. And some cars may offer the wireless charging, but this car does not offer that. And no cruise control on this vehicle either, so I think this is the base model, just like that. And the rear seat is very spacious. The wheelbase on this is just over 2.6 meters, so it's still reasonably long. The sitting position is quite far back at the front for my driving position. And we do have a small sunroof on the top, even on the sort of slightly base model, I think. And this is how the rear seats looks like. So I still got tons of leg room, and headroom is okay. I do get a little bit sort of, my hair is touching the top roof due to the sloping roof line, but I don't have any complaint. At the back, your air vents, very interesting design for the air vents. It's just one piece, it didn't separate into two pieces, but it's okay. USB-A charging, some storage as per normal. Cup holders on the side, speakers at the back. As you can see, the speaker design is interesting too. I like the speaker design. I'm just pointing it up like that. I like the speaker design. It's got, they put some thoughts on it, which is cool. And I don't like the contrast though. It looks busy. It looks a little bit too much, I think. But yeah, it's just what it is, unfortunately. Behind the car, as you can see, the sloping roof line does come all the way, but unlike the MG6, the tailgate doesn't go all the way. So that's a little bit different story for the design. And tailgate opens like this, so it's more like a traditional sedan opening. So it's not a coupe, so a four-door coupe, like I said earlier in the video. And the boot space is huge. It's very long. I think the boot space length is like what I can see in a Mercedes E-Class, something like that. It's not as high as it's a small car, but it's very long. It's I'm pretty sure if you're gonna use this car as an Uber, as a taxi or anything like that, you're gonna be able to stretch a too big large suitcase all the way. So that's a good thing. Or if you're using this for a small family, I think even an affordable bike would fit in there easily. Yeah, so there'll be no problem at all. And reverse camera just over here. Again, SAC motor MG and MG5 at the back. And this is how the car looks on the side. So again, it's the sloping design, goes all the way. It looks quite cool. I do like it. not so much of a big fan of this, the what do you call it, the chrome trim that does go all the way. It's still extended. I don't know. Maybe if they cut it here, it'll be okay, or maybe make it black, or make it something interesting behind. But yeah, still pretty cool car, and built for its price, it's super cheap. Hopefully, if it comes out in Australia, it'll be really good price too. And we don't know if we're getting it in New Zealand. Hopefully, we'll see it in New Zealand at some point with the thing. But the MG5 does sell really well in China for the last couple years, for the last year basically, and because its price, its popularity among the new generation people. Next one, we have the MG5. I think this is called the Scorpion. So Scorpion is a special edition for the MG5, although it's based on the MG5, but it does add a lot of trims, a lot of pieces for this vehicle. Just step back and look at the two different vehicles. Can you tell they're the same car? No, they're not. So what it offers is this particular vehicle does added all the sort of sportiness, added all the trims, added all the things, bells and whistles to the car, plus all the driving parts, everything, to make it as a sporty car for the young generation again. Look at the underneath, the spoiler, everything underneath, and a big, large, chunky grille. Looks very aggressive. If you cover the badge, if you cover the logo, can you tell me what car it is? I can't tell. There's no way you can tell that car. It's crazy for the you know, design department for this vehicle from the outside. And let's look at the spec actually. So this car is about, the wheelbase is the same. It's about 4.6 or nearly 4.7 liters as 4.7 sort of long. And it does come with a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine, so 181 horsepower. So it's okay. It's not superb, but 7-speed DSG. Yeah, all the things. It does have a 12.3-inch display. Yamaha sound stereo, and they do have a 540 camera. I don't know what that means, but the starting price in China is 102,000 Chinese yuan, or from 102 to 117 Chinese yuan. Also, I forgot to mention, for all the pricings I include, is only the vehicle price. In China, you have to still pay tax, pay registration, pay even insurance. Insurance is compulsory. So to drive away this vehicle, you can add a few more. So let's say the top spec is 117. You probably have to pay somewhere around 130 to actually drive away the vehicle. So that's a little bit different. That's why a little bit different when you see the price where I quoted. But yeah, underneath we have a black wheels. So this is factory painted. It's glossy black with the Michelin Primacy wheels. Somehow this sporty car is still equipped with Michelin Primacy and 17-inch wheels. And this color paint is quite cool too. It's very premium color paint. It's got a lot of sort of metallic finish onto it. I've never seen this in an MG lineup. If you look close, so yeah, it's quite cool looking on the side, and black wind mirror, so that's a little bit different as well. So it's all glossy black with the glossy black, so the trim on the top. It's quite amazing factory do this for their customers. And spoiler at the back is factory as well. So everything on this vehicle you see is factory. So look, yeah. So the body shape is the same, but you do get a lot of specs and everything that come with this particular vehicle. On the side, looks rather nice. Let's point it up. Very cool. And at the back, forgot to mention, we do have quad exhaust. Can you believe that on an MG5? And it's only 1.5 turbo, but it does tune the car to make quite good sound, basically. We do have the diffuser, is that what you call it? I can't remember the English word for it. And we have the Scorpion logo, so make sure this is the particular edition for its generation. Sitting at the back, let's have a look. So due to its the special edition, we do have the yellow seat belt, yellow trim that goes around the car, even with the I don't think that's factory floor mats. That's just added on by the dealership. And look at the seats. It's very nice design, everything. Yellow stitchings on the side, and that's the interior trim. So this does come with a new sort of system like we see earlier in the MG1. So again, looks quite different from all the traditional MG cars, with the new steering, with the new screen, everything like that. Obviously DG dash, all that things. Forgot to mention, we have two wireless phone charging over there, so you can easily put your two phones, your one and your partner's ones, over there to charge your devices. And the center console design, yeah. So I wish they carry on this design to any new generation MGs in the future, as this will be really popular, I'm pretty sure. And yeah. At the back, let's look at this. This is Yamaha speakers, as we said. Open the door from this side, let you have a look. The seat design. So there's nothing special underneath, but look on the top. The Scorpion, the MG, but with a little bit Scorpion design. Yeah, and a sloping roofline behind the seats that allows the vehicle to have a dual panoramic sunroof effect. Goes all the way, as you can see from the back. Look at that. The thing is like a Tesla sort of sunshade, where you get the cover but you don't get the cover, so the whole panel actually goes all the way behind the seats. So very different from the base model MG5 we just see. And this is manual tailgate, so it doesn't, the trim piece doesn't go, but instead the boot only goes. So yeah, I don't know how this is gonna cope in the summer, but it's what it is. And this behind the seats are the exact same as the standard MG5, so no difference from the Scorpio Edition. Alright, so that's the MG5 Scorpio. The last, but not the least, is the MG Mulan. So MG Mulan is the Chinese name, Mulan obviously being the traditional sort of Chinese character back in the history, which they call it Mulan just to connect with the history, plus, you know, make the name a little bit sort of familiar for everyone. But in New Zealand, we're gonna call this MG4, or in all overseas market, this will be marketed MG4 as a number 4. So this is how the MG Mulan looks like in China. So there will be two different models in China available. One is the 350 WLTP range, and the other one is 450 WLTP range, something like that. Particular variant gets the 17-inch wheels. As you can see, it does have a very different sort of, I think it's hubcaps that helps with the aerodynamic, and continental tires on this vehicle, and black trim down underneath, so it's done very well actually. On the top we get the black trim goes around the doors, and black wind mirror. So the wind mirror itself is quite small, so it does help with the aerodynamic again. And keyless entry with the touch button over here. Open the door. This is the whole new interior, so again it looks very different from any other MGs in the lineup, as this is a vehicle that built from the ground, so there's nothing similar to any other MGs on the market. In New Zealand you do get a lot of different contrast seats. I do think you can even get the green, so the black stitchings, everything like that. But yeah, this is the grey leather with white stitching, with white on the side, but orange on the stitchings and on the trim. And yeah, it looks quite simple, but it looks useful. All the seat storage are quite good. There's no center console that goes around here. Instead, you do have all the buttons, everything on the top. And yeah. And look at the back seats. So the wheelbase on this vehicle is quite long. It's 2.7 meters. So that means you are getting a lot of space at the back. Jumping. Look at the seats. It's so far in front of me. And headroom is better, is even better than MG5 and MG6. And the seats, the front driving position, somehow you do get this. I don't know what this means, but I guess this is just easy grip underneath, but looks good. And small sort of It's quite square shape, but not square shape. Digital dash. I think it's gonna work fine. I won't be able to switch on this vehicle, obviously. And wireless charging pad, it's rather large actually. It's quite large wireless charging pad. I hope you can charge 2 devices, which hopefully that will be the case. But yeah, everything looks quite cool. As this is the whole new MG platform. Hopefully they will build a lot more MGs under this platform in some of its design. And at the back, this is the controversial part, where some people like it, some people don't like it. It does extend out, as this is my first impression, by the way. It does extend out a lot on the thing, and the roof spoiler does go all the way as well. So as you can see, this you can go through. Obviously, it helps with the aerodynamic, but I don't know how much it does help. From the top, this is what it looks like. I think it works for me. I think it's okay. It's not boring car looking from the back, to be honest with you. Let me know if you like it or not in the comments. I'm not sure at the moment. My manual tailgate. And we do get something at the back, so the boot space. And this is actually a little bit more boot space compared to the Volkswagen Golf, I think. Yeah, it looks somehow the wheel size or the size of the vehicle is a little bit bigger than a Volkswagen Golf, so the boot space is bigger than the Volkswagen Golf. I'm not sure if we have any underneath storage. No, we don't. We don't have spare wheel either, so it's just a punctual fixer kit. But it's gonna be all the same with a lot of EVs on the market. And we open the tailgate. Funny thing, what I see? All the spoiler goes on the top. It looks maybe okay or maybe not okay. I don't know. I'm still not sure. But as you can see, they advertised a 520 kilometers long range, where it's Chinese certified range. In WLTP, it's going to be about 450, I think. You can break the 0 to 100 under 3.8 seconds. That's very good sort of driving, all that things. So you do get a lot of the trims from the top. So 139,000 Chinese yuan to 186,000 Chinese yuan. So that's what 139 is about 40,000 US dollars for the low range 350, and top spec will be around, hoping my calculation doesn't disappoint me, 46,000 yuan, something like that. So yeah, that's very good range. On the side, MG Mulan, obviously in New Zealand it's going to be MG4, and SAC motors on the side, so, and parking sensors, everything. Underneath, you do get maybe a thick diffuser or whatever you want to call it, or plastic trim, and I believe maybe that's the fog lights. But the tail lights looks definitely looks cool. It goes around the car. The back looks like a wagon or anything like that, but it's not a real wagon. And the charging port is over here. Hope we can open it. So it's at the back of the charging port. On the top, we do get the CCS, I believe. I hope so. And underneath is the Type 2, so for your slow charge. Cool. And the seats. This is how the seats at the back look like. There's no armrest on this generation, on this vehicle trim. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same for New Zealand market. We'll see. But the headrest looks comfortable. You can obviously fold the seats. The base is non-removable. They stay the same as we fix at the point. And do we have any connectivity? We do. We do have a USB-A at the back, single USB-A. There's no air vents, which is not big issue. And we do have 2 small pockets over here. This is actually a thing that created by Volkswagen, I believe. But since SAC owns Volkswagen, sort of owns half Volkswagen in China, I guess they can utilize this design. I like this actually. You can easily slide your small card holders or small phones. Even if you want to watch something, you can even slide your phone over here to watch something. And pockets underneath. The pockets on the side is rather small actually. You can only fit 1 small bottle, but the finish on the side is okay. This is plastic, but yeah, it's nothing special. Kiddie entry over here, and driver seats. We have electric buttons, and but we don't have sunroof on this generation. I'm not sure if sunroof is going to be available or not, but since this is marketed as a more like hatchback, I don't think the sunroof actually matters much. And let's jump in. I'm going to move the seats. Hopefully the seats can move back. There we go. I'll move the seats far back so I can do this shot. Look at the piano black. Oh, sir, you can't touch this button. Instead, you point to these square things on the left and right to point to this. Okay, and steering control, voice command, phone controls. I believe that's to change screens. This is another sort of deselect, whatever. And the square screen, or close to square screen, looks quite cool. And the 10-inch display, or I can't remember, maybe 10 or maybe 12-inch display. Is it easy to reach? Yep, it's easy to reach. That's not bad. These buttons are going to be the same with the New Zealand market. So, we can power up. Let's have a sneak peek here. So yeah, look at that. So it's going to be a very different screen from the overseas market, as the Chinese market does have their own sort of system, all that things. You can control the aircon, you can control the 360, stuff like that. It's okay, the quality, okay, not too bad, but it's not superb either. It works, and you can see the battery health, you can see the vehicle, and what else can we see? You have to use your phone to actually locate these things. I can't even see the what do you call it, navigation, but yeah, it's just how the screen looks like. Very cool. We're gonna press hold to close, yeah, so we don't get told off. Charging, wireless charging, I believe, because it does have the symbol on there, and electric handbrake with the gear selector. Oh, the gear selector feels a little bit different from the ZS. Feels a little bit more grippy. Yeah, it feels a little bit more grippy, so very new part, I suppose. MG electric, it just means MG electric design, everything. So yeah, again, this is the new design, new interior, new interface. And the cup holders over here, you can remove this, I believe. You get some USB charging down underneath with 12-volt socket. Yeah, center storage is deep. I wish, another thing I wish, maybe they could build this a little bit higher so you get a little bit deeper down storage. But yeah, because you lose this whole space over here instead, to be fair, I think they can easily utilize this to build a bigger center console. Yeah, I guess it's just what it is, because you still have the armrest center console anyway. Armrest, passenger glove box is reasonable as always. And the whole air vent doesn't go all the way, obviously, but the design is going all the way. So you get the piano black in the center, and we get the electric sort of wind mirror adjustments, everything. And let's close the door, listen to the sound. It's okay. And somehow on this vehicle, I still cannot find the blind spot detection. I don't think this vehicle may have that. So maybe this is the base model. Yeah, I don't think I found it. So it might be the base model. And the wind mirror in the center, it's quite slim. It's again very different design, and somehow the center console is located on the passenger side. As you can see, it's not in the center, not like all the other MG cars. The center console where you get all the, let's say, the sun sensor or rain sensor, everything is normally located in the right center. So you do get, so occasionally the driver do get a little bit blind spot. On this particular vehicle design, it's located on the passenger side. Obviously in New Zealand, it's going to be going all the other way. So maybe that does help with the visibility. When you sit over here, when you see that, you actually get a little bit less blind spot. So that's a good thing. Very good design, I think. Also to the design team, all these buttons are going to be the same. So yeah. And last thing we're going to talk about is the front. Obviously we get the 360 camera plus the new MG logo, everything. And because it's EV, there's no grille design. Instead, underneath, everything goes around to the plastic trim. We do get the lip spoiler at the front, so it makes the car look sporty, but I don't know how useful it is. And the new sensor, it's going to be looking at this. That's very different from the old sensor. Oh no, sorry, I was wrong. The sensor is actually underneath. So let's look from this angle. There we go. That's the white parts. So that's the sensor for your adaptive cruise control, lane departure, all that things. And LED headlights. So it does come with a lot of sort of individual LEDs, plus I think maybe the daytime running on the top. So that looks very cool. Anyway, I think this is probably the last car we're gonna see in this video. And that will be the last car for us to talk about in this video. I do hope you enjoyed the video. I do hope you enjoy the content. And let me know if you think this is a cool video, everything. I hope you enjoyed it again. And if you're looking to purchase any MG in the future, please contact me in New Zealand, jerry@abit.co.nz. And special thanks for this franchise dealership in China, in Shanxi, Yuncheng. So they allowed me to come into the showroom and do all the talkings in the early morning. Hopefully, so I don't think they will see these contents, unfortunately, unless they have access to VPN. That's just the problem with this thing. But yeah, special thanks to them. Everyone in this dealership has been amazing. That helps me to locate and all that things. So yeah, and see you next video. Thank you very much for watching.